I have everything ready. I'm just going to start your reading for lovely Scorpio people. The first card you have your past is Temperance. I'm seeing something that actually needed a lot of attention and a lot of little changes, little alterations and things like that. It's very frustrating. I'm feeling some frustration around this card. It could be that this was a work project or something work related. I'm seeing that, I'm just seeing you thinking that you were feeling like you're at the end of something, the end of a project, something about work or something. You're like, oh, I'm nearly to the end, or you thought you were nearly at the end. And then something kept on coming up again that you had to go back and make changes, make alterations. And this was very, very frustrating. I'm actually feeling some frustration in this because it felt as if it was never going to come to an end. Every time you thought, oh, it's at an end, and then you had to go back and make some changes again, and then it was nearly at the end, and then you had to go back, and it was kind of very, very frustrating. And you had to kind of keep your emotions balanced. You had to kind of keep in balance with your emotions, because it could have been in the workplace, so you might have had to appear balanced. You couldn't show anyone your frustration. It might have been something like that. And you had to just keep on making these adjustments to whatever this was. That's what I'm seeing. You just had to keep on going backwards and backwards and backwards. And there were times where you were thinking, I just want to get to the end of this. I just want to finish this. But then I'm seeing that you got to a stage where you just thought, oh, I'm just going to shrug my shoulders, and I'm just going to say, oh, well, I can't rush. I can't get to the end. It's just going to finish when it finishes. It has a mind of its own. So it was like you just needed to you just decided you're just going to calm down, and you're just going to do what you needed to do to get this finished. You just had to think, I'm just going to let it go on its own pace. If it doesn't finish, I'm just going to have to go back and do whatever it is, and I'm just going to have to go with the flow of this. So you kind of dropped this frustration and you just let it go and just did what needed to be done. It was like, I'm not going to try and rush to the end anymore. If I don't get there, I don't. If I do, I do. And you knew that you probably were going to eventually get there anyway sometime. So the next card you have your past is the Four of Cups. So yes, I'm seeing there could have been some sort of a decision, some decision that you had to make, or some decision that you felt that you had to make. Because I'm seeing that maybe you were being persuaded to make a decision quickly, faster than you actually wanted to. I'm actually seeing someone who might have been trying to hurry you up on this decision, trying to kind of force you to make a decision quickly. And I'm seeing there was a little bit of stress around this. I'm seeing a lot of stress around you so far, a lot of this stress. And you had a lot of other things on your mind at the time. So someone was trying to persuade you, someone was trying to say, hurry up, make this decision, please do this, hurry up, I'm waiting, all of these kinds of things. And because you're feeling all this other pressure, this outside pressure, I'm seeing you kind of thinking that, no, I don't want to make this decision at this time because I'm not ready in my mind to make this decision. I need to have a clear head. I need to have this stuff out of the way. I can't make this decision now. And so I'm seeing you probably came back to this person and you probably said to them, look, no, I'm not going to do this now. I'm sorry. I don't have to make this decision now. I'm going to have to make it at some time in the future. I'm sorry. So I'm seeing this person being a bit disappointed, kind of looking, look at this man, he has his head down, he's looking disappointed. So this person was probably quite disappointed with this, but too bad you just couldn't make a decision when you were ready. And you're very strong about this, and I'm very happy that's what you did. It was the right thing to do. The last card you have your past is the Five of Cups. So yes, you weren't the only person who was stressed around this. I'm seeing that you're in a very, very stressful environment. Very stressful. And I'm seeing that, quite often you can sense other people's feelings. You can sense you're drawn in. People's feelings are drawn into you. So if there's an atmosphere in the room, you can kind of feel it. You can walk into a room and feel an atmosphere without actually knowing what's going on. And that was what was happening at this time. You're feeling the atmosphere around you. And I'm looking at this man's black cloak. He has a really dark cloak around him. him. And dark colours, quite often, they can absorb what's going on around them. They can absorb the light, if there's light, or if there's sun, they get very hot. That happens to black cars quite often if they're parked in the sun, they get very, very hot. And also, if sound comes into them, they can muffle sound. They absorb sound very easily, very quickly. So that's what was happening to you. You were drawing in what was going on around you. You're absorbing the atmosphere. And I don't think you meant to do this. You don't mean to do this ever, but you do just naturally do this sometimes. And so that's what was happening. There could have been a lot of stressful people around you at this time, a lot of nasty stuff happening. Maybe people were gossiping, maybe people were being a bit difficult, and you're absorbing this atmosphere. This could have been in the workplace, it could have been somewhere else, but I am seeing some workplace related things going on in this reading so far. And if this resonates, try to get away if you can, as much as you can, if you're able to, from this stressful environment. The first card you have here present is the Seven of Pentacles. So, yes, what I'm seeing here is there's a love situation. I'm seeing that you could be putting a lot of work into the situation, and you might be getting to the stage where you just might be slowing down on this work you're putting into this. You might even be giving up on this person altogether, or thinking about it at this time. I'm not seeing that you are going to give up on them. I'm seeing that at this time you're probably just thinking about it, because this man's looking at this tree and he's kind of contemplating things. He's not running around quickly or hastily. He's just kind of looking at this tree and he's thinking, I put so much into this tree. Look at all these coins I put onto this tree, and I've only got one in front of me, so that's not very fair. I'm not getting much back, and I'm putting all this effort into this tree. And what's it doing? It's just sitting there. It's not doing anything. So this is what's happening here. It actually looks a bit like a Christmas tree. So there's a lot, people put a lot into Christmas trees. They put a lot of gifts under the Christmas tree for other people. But do you have any gifts for you? That's what I'm seeing. He only has one coin in front of him. So this isn't a very balanced situation. And I'm seeing that you might even be thinking about giving up on this person at this time. But I'm also seeing that, just be careful, because you have a lot of stress around you. You're in a very stressful situation. In the Five of Cups, you were absorbing all of this stress, and that might be clouding how you're seeing this situation. You might be thinking, oh, I'm just fed up with this stress. I'm fed up with everything. I'm also fed up with putting all this into this relationship. What am I getting out of this for myself? So it might be just that you're feeling fed up generally, and you might be this might be clouding how you're actually seeing this situation. So just be careful if that's the case. The next card you have here present is the Nine of Swords. So yes, terrible card. Yes, this stress I was seeing in the Five of Cups could be clouding. Yes, this is what I'm seeing. It could be clouding a lot of things in your life, specifically your feelings around everything else and your feelings around this relationship, definitely. So yes, or this romantic situation, or whatever this is. So yes, it might be true. You might be giving too much to this person, but also it might be that, excuse me, it might just be that the stress is making everything seem a lot worse. So yes, that's exactly what I was seeing as well in the Seven of Pentacles, same thing. So try and get out of this atmosphere once you remove yourself from all of this. You'll be able to see things a lot clearer than they actually are. So if you're stressful, if you're feeling really, really stressed, it can really cloud everything. It can make everything look a lot worse than it actually is. And that could be what's happening. Now, you might actually have an issue you have to deal with. If so, that's fine. Deal with that issue in your relationship, or whatever this is, or this love situation. But quite often things can be clouded by everything else that's going on. So have a think about that. The last card you have here present is the Five of Swords. So yes, this could be why. This could be why this environment was so stressful, and it probably still is at this time. There's a lot of manipulation going on. There's a lot of stress going on. I'm seeing manipulative words, and I'm seeing, gossip, all of these kind of things. People trying to fight for themselves. They're trying to fight for their lives almost. Try and do what you can to kind of just walk away from this as much as you can. You might, if it's a job situation, you might have to look for another job even. It might be that desperate. If not, try and get away as much as you can. Do what you can to try and either look for something else or try and be out of the environment. If you can't, try and put some headphones on, put some earphones on, put some music on. Shut yourself off from this until you can remove yourself from this, because it's a very toxic environment. It's a very difficult environment I'm seeing. And yes, this is what's in this card. If you look at this, I'll move this up so you can see they're walking away. So this is telling you, try to either distance yourself or get away altogether from this environment. Get away from this. The first card you have for your future is the Ten of Pentacles. So yes, I'm seeing that. Yes, I'm seeing that probably it was this environment that was making you feel a lot worse than your relationship or this romantic situation than actually was happening. Because I'm seeing that you might have come to a conclusion that you're fed up with this person. You might have even stopped talking to them for a while. But at this time in your future, you're going to come back together again, and you're going to kind of have a conversation. You're going to have an open conversation. It's going to be a balanced conversation. And I'm seeing that, yes, I'm seeing that this is going to actually be a very productive talk that you have with this person. I'm seeing things will start to feel a lot better and a lot more balanced between you, because if you look at the 10 coins on this card, they're perfectly balanced on either side and in the middle. So this is a perfectly balanced situation, and the coins are balanced over this couple in the middle, and this couple in the middle are having a talk. That's what I'm seeing. It's going to be very productive. This is a very positive card, and you're probably going to realize that yes, you do want to be in this for the long haul with this person. You are going to grow with this person. That's what I'm seeing. And yes, this is a very good reconnection happening between you, a very good talk. It's going to be very positive. That's what I'm seeing. So that's really good. You are realizing that a lot of stress has been clouding a lot of things in your life. The next card you have in your future is the Ace of Swords. So yes, again, this is about cutting through things, getting clarity, and that's what I'm seeing was happening with the Ten of Pentacles. So yes, you're going to have a very positive talk, and it's going to lift you, at least partially lift you out of this stress. You're still going to have this stressful situation or this atmosphere you're going to have to deal with, but this is going to help you to try and start to move out of this, or try and take action on this, or do something about this. So yes, you're going to be analysing what's going on in this situation. This is giving you clarity. You're also going to see that there are going to be some manipulators around this, but you are going to still be going through a situation where you're going to be finding clarity about this. So it's not going to be all 100% clear yet, but you're going to be working through this. This is a very positive thing for you. And yes, you're moving forward. You're getting through this. So the last card you have for your future is the Page of Swords. So yes, while you're getting this clarity, while you're trying to kind of work out what's going on, and you're trying to work out, who's in the middle of this, who's at the core of this stress, who's being manipulative, who's the ringleader, who are the other players, that kind of thing. You're trying to work that out. And you're also trying to kind of think about, how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to walk away from this? Can I do this? How am I going to shelter myself at least from this? Just be a little bit careful, because I'm seeing this Page of Swords can be a little bit the pages are quite young and they're a bit over enthusiastic. You might wave your sword around a bit too much at these people, and you might actually cut the wrong people. There are some people in this stressful atmosphere that are also victims. They're not the perpetrators, they're the victims. So it might look like you're cutting through all these different people, but you might make some enemies if you cut through the wrong people, if you get at the wrong people, if you become a bit angry with the wrong people. Sorry, I'm not really articulating myself well. I'm trying to explain what I see. I'm sorry about that, and I'm going a bit fast too, so I have to stop myself. So yes, don't make unnecessary enemies while you're cutting through, and while you're trying to find clarity, while you're trying to find what's actually going on in this situation. And you might actually find that you don't come to the right conclusions, or you don't come to all of the conclusions. Everything might not be revealed to you. So it doesn't really matter in the end. If you're in this environment, no matter what the reason is, it might be best just to get out of it. So yes, try and get out of it as best that you can, rather than standing and fighting with this Page of Swords. Don't make unnecessary enemies. try and, yes, if you can, try and find who's at the center of this, but if you can't, try and move on as best you can. That's what I'm seeing. So Scorpio, I hope this resonated. I'm sorry I got a bit muddled and a bit fast at the end. I was trying to articulate what I was seeing. I'm sorry about that. But also general readings can't always be resonating with everyone, as you know. But again, if you like this reading, please like or please subscribe or leave a comment if you'd like to. Once again, I'm sorry if this was a little bit messed up, a bit muddled for you. I was trying my best with this. And yes, thank you so much for watching.